なんだはがな助けてくれ Coming from you right from higher California. This is Matthew Van Norman, John Sanchez. We're coming to you from the Ascended Podcast. We're talking about accepting friends and their views, not taking things so personally, and then also talking about a little FOMO, you know, for you FOMO people out there.
Ooh, the FOMO.
And then maybe some estrogen.
Estrogen's not guaranteed.
Because we have a very estrogen-dominant society nowadays, so...
Hey, we'll definitely get more into that. All right, well, it's good to be back. Good to be back. So, how are we feeling about that first episode?
Feel alright, feel good.
Feel good? Ready to rock and roll on this one?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking cool.
It's fucking cool.
No loafing here. So, I guess let's start out. Difference of opinion. Why do you think that's important right now?
Oh, God. Why isn't it important right now?
Yeah, I know, like, you can stab it everywhere.
If you, you cannot be right today. You can't be writing shit today besides, you know, wherever your collective is, wherever your grouping is. It's kind of like, you know, where your views, your thoughts, your perceptions.
I'll reverse that. I think you have the opposite. I don't think you can be wrong nowadays. I think people are so prideful in what they believe in that if there's any kind of, like, chance of you being wrong, automatically they shut it down because they're scared of being wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's more the opposite. Not that you can't be right, but it's not, I can't be wrong.
Dualities.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, that's another thing. It's like, you know, you can go fucking tit for tat on everything nowadays. The amount of information that we have, the amount of, like, different views, influences, who's following who, what are they putting out, what's their agenda, who's, you know, hands are in their pockets.
Yeah, that's a big one right there.
Yeah, follow the fucking money. So now you have to take this into consideration of who your friends listening to, who your friends looking at, because, you know, just because they're being influenced by someone else doesn't mean they still can't be your friend. It's just, is their views getting in the way of what you're doing in life? Because I feel like a lot of friends have been like, oh, I cannot be his friend, or I can't do that. This motherfucker supports this. As long as you're not supporting pedophilia or being a fucking asshole, then, you know, I'm cool with you.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, who you support. Like, there's plenty of friends I have that I've seen that just put things out, and I'm like,
Yeah, no, definitely. No, definitely. And I think one of the biggest things that we have to look at is, like, who are we at the core people? Because I think the misconception is, okay, like, I need to go accept what's being told to me, but not accept what's happening in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I like this song. It's by Luke Bryan. It's called, like, Most People Are Good. And, like, the reason being, like, he talks about, like, how if the world didn't turn on the news every night or watch the news every night, we'd probably be a whole lot happier. And I think that's a lot of it is. I feel like we're kind of coerced and hoaxed into believing certain views, but not going off of real life. Like, I can tell you, like, and then, like I said, this is based on my own personal experience. I'm not trying to say, like, this is the way of life for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, a lot of times I go out and talk to people or communicate with people, it isn't what I'm seeing portrayed in the news, like how people feel or what people think. So, for me, I look at it as, like, okay, what's my reality, and then what's being projected onto me.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Yeah, that's facts. Like, you know, even if, like, I feel like a lot of people don't understand that, even if they're just around it for so long.
Oh, yeah.
It becomes more like a repetition. Repetition is everything. That's where they get you. It's like why the news fucking fucks you up, because it's every single day. No matter if you're wanting to just see the weather, you're seeing everything else behind it and after it. So it's like every single day. Are you, like, I know my mom likes to watch the weather, you know, the news for the weather, and then everything before that's fucking Gavin Newsom's fucking asshole ass, and then
just everything you can think of, whether it's freaking presidency, whether it's freaking the stimulus or whatever is going on, like, you just see all of it.
And it's constant stress being...
It is.
It's like, if you think about it, you don't even... Okay, so think about this. When you're eating something and you're watching an action movie, are you gonna chew faster and not you know, savor your food, or are you gonna fucking, you know, if you listen to some nice music, you're gonna slow down, become a little bit more present, you know? Stress is very subtle in a lot of ways.
Oh, stress is everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most harmful things for our body. That's one thing that I've had to pick up on this year. So
Mm-hmm.
just little things like you just said, like watching certain programs that you know are going to make you mad,
Yeah.
or you're going to see, and it's going to make you kind of on edge.
If you have any digestive issues, you shouldn't even be watching anything while you're fucking eating.
Yeah.
Because one, the eyes take up a lot of energy because they have to send signals and shit to the brain, and then your reactions and everything like that takes up a lot of energy. And then so when you're watching something that's stressing you out, your body's actually gonna not be able to digest things properly. Yeah. So it's like that's just hindering you a lot more right there.
Yeah.
And that little thing right there, a lot of people don't know about. Like,
no, I don't think I knew about it till we talked about it a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And luckily for me, I don't really have digestive issues. But if I have the chance to, like, eat in a nice, quiet area, like, one of my favorite things to do is if I have a gap in my schedule, I'll go eat lunch in my car and just listen to music and not, like, focus on anything else, not, like, listen to, like, people talking or, like, news and like that.
Yeah.
It's just music and eating.
Just you and your food.
Yeah, and I'll sit there for probably 20, 30 minutes and just enjoy it versus if I had probably ate, like, listening, like, watching something, I'd probably eat, like, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
that's probably why you don't have a lot of digestive issues.
Yeah. I hope.
Well, it's just like initial digestive issues. Like there's everything in between that's going to come along with that. Like what you're eating is also going to fuck you up. But
that's a bigger spectrum.
Oh yeah, that's a totally another episode that I'm going to have to not do any sort of smoking before.
Yeah, I'm really got to dial in.
Yeah, I'm going to have to dial in on that one.
For sure. So, yeah, kind of going back to the topic of just, like, difference in opinion, I think we have to kind of look at who we are as people. I think the saying of, like, what you get from, like, what you give to people is what you're going to get. And I think a lot of people lose that, and it goes back to, like, they just don't want to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They really just don't want to be wrong. It's like, I can't be wrong because if I'm wrong, then everything, like, I feel like it's everything I stand for, like, oh, I'm not going to fit in. Like, even all the information can be clearly in front of me, but if I say I was wrong, then people are going to look at me differently.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for me, I can sit here and I think I've done it a couple times with you where I've been wrong about things, where I've had to, like, catch myself and say, like, okay, like, I did this, but it was probably the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a hard thing to learn because, like I said, it really checks your ego.
Oh, yeah, having, like, some humility or, being open-minded. Or, even what it is, too, is not being grounded. It's like, if you're grounded, then you'd be secure within yourself. You'd be able to sit there and go, okay, his view isn't challenging mine. It's not trying to change me. So why am I reacting to this?
I wouldn't go that far, because there's some times where I feel like I am being challenged, or like my view is being challenged. But
only if you take it as a challenge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So exactly. And that was for me. And that was one thing I had to do. It's where, like, okay, like, I have to know how you said, like, what is it doing for me?
Yeah.
Like, I can keep following my path and doing my path, and let them do whatever they want, and I'll be good.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, I think you have to be grounded, but that's something hard to kind of comprehend and learn.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Like, you have to actually kind of work on being grounded nowadays.
Yeah,
you do. Yeah, there's so many fucking factors that take you out of it. So. Like, another thing, too, is, like you're saying, like, how it could be challenging. There's a lot of people that are going to poke at you and for sure want to try and change your views because they're, they might be, like, narcissistic or, egotistical, like, my way of the fucking...
just ignorant.
Yeah, ignorant as fuck. And those all mixed together is not good.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous. You have a lot of that. A lot of people haven't really taken the time to grow up, nowadays too. A lot of
everyone wants easy, and, like, I'll say this, it's very easy to just be told something and be like, oh yeah, that's it. But then when the information is put in front of you, that challenges it, and then you have to do some real digging, you have to do some real soul searching to figure out, okay, like, is this right or is this wrong? For us, I felt like one of the catalysts of our whole kind of fitness journey was looking at, okay, we worked out a certain way for so long, and now we know it's kind of bad for you, like the way we worked out. Like, It's not healthy. It's not good for longevity. So for us, like, it's like, I'm still kind of in that phase where I'm trying to learn, like, to balance it. I feel like you've kind of gotten out of that shell and you know what you want from your training. But for me, it's like I'm still trying to adapt to and learn to where it's like, where do I separate what I started doing and what I love doing to what right now I need to do what I need to do for my body to take care of it. And so I think for me, it was like a big ego check was like, okay, I've been doing this for all these years, and I've been fine, but now the information in front of me is telling me that what I'm doing is probably going to limit me in the future, or I'm not going to be healthy, or I'm not going to have the mobility, I'm not going to have the functionality I want when I'm 30, 40, 50 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's a fact check for both of us right there, was like, okay, because most people won't do it. They'll be like, oh, I'm just going to keep lifting away. I've been lifting, like, I'm fine. Like, that's just how it is. Like, they'll be like, oh, no, I'm good. Like, I'll keep benching, break at 315 to destroy my rotator cuff. Like,
there's definitely,
and that's a battle for me every day. Like, I'll say, I work at a gym, like, I'm with a whole bunch of different trainers. And, like, it's like sometimes you see someone benching 315, or you see someone doing shoulder press and hitting, like, 2 plates, or you see someone squatting 3 or 4 plates, and you're just like, dang, now, like, I want to do that. Just like the ego in me comes out.
Oh, yeah, it's testosterone.
Yeah, exactly,
we're still young, dumb, full of cum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Like, and especially in that environment, that, for sure. Like, that's why that's why I love my environment, because it's just totally more like modern day hippie, and we're like a bunch of nerds with a lot of past that are like wounded, like fucking healers, bro. We're wounded healers.
Yeah.
We want to heal people in ways that are different. Okay. And so it's like, now I get to go back to somewhere like where you work, and I love it still. Like, that shit right there, like, gets me amped. Like, because I've been out of it for so long, so when I go back, it's like, oh fuck, like, you know, you got girls in here grinding, you know, booty pumping, you got guys in there fucking shirts off, like flexing, getting ready for comps, you got fucking all this shit.
You gotta mix everything.
Yeah, you gotta mix everything. You got fighting in there, so that place is fucking dope. It's just like, it can get very, very damaging though too.
Yeah, like I said, you gotta be grounded. You gotta be really, really grounded.
Yeah. Because with all that mix, it's like, you know, unless you're grounded, it's a recipe for disaster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Next thing you know, Matt's over here fucking getting ready to do a fucking comp. Hey, you can get your pro card.
Oh, God.
You think?
So much potential.
Yeah, so, it's interesting, though. Like I said, we keep going back to the grounded, and I think you really have to know yourself. Mm-hmm. And it kind of goes back to, I think, what we said in the first episode, like, you have to have that confidence in yourself. You have to have that belief in yourself that whether you're right or wrong, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, that's the point of confidence, is because you're confident enough to be wrong, to go, okay, now what's the right? Like, okay, show me the right way. And then you could confidently act in that position now. It's like, you know, if you're insecure and you get discouraged and beaten down, become a victim, and you're like, well, I'm gonna be angry and pissed off now, like, you know, because anger is usually a secondary emotion. Usually, you're just a sad little bitch.
Yeah, you're just sad.
You're just a sad little man. This is back to estrogen. No, not beating anyone down, but just kind of pointing out like that. It's okay to be wrong. It's not a bad thing.
It's not. I think that's, at the end of the day, life is all about growth. I think I posted a little morning affirmation quote yesterday. It's like the moment you stop learning is like the moment you stop growing, and the moment you stop growing is the moment you start dying. Like, the second that you just feel like you have it all figured out, and like there's nothing left for you to learn, what's gonna happen? All you do is go downhill, and the words fucking Coach Axe, like, it's a roller coaster, but you're just going down the whole damn time.
Yeah. Usually you gotta hit rock bottom sometimes.
Yeah. In this case, roller coaster is not coming back up; it's going down. But
like, you might even get stuck somewhere.
Yeah. What episode is SpongeBob where like he gets stuck in rock bottom?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That could be you.
Wasn't he trying to put $1 in a vending machine or something?
I think so, yeah. And the bus left him?
Yeah.
I feel like that's actually like a really good...
Yeah.
All it takes is one little distraction, and boom, your whole shit's gone.
Yeah, Nickelodeon, bro. I want to talk about some sick motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah.
Nickelodeon.
Just the media industry in general, man.
Oh, dude. There's fucking producers of Disney that are the same producers of porn. Like, it actually goes hand in hand a lot.
Yeah.
You know, fucking how fucked that up.
All you gotta do is look at the freaking Disney Channel stars. What's happened to all of them? Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they all fucking click.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure like some of the guys are like freaking out there too.
Yeah, I think Shia LaBeouf just fucking like totally just like didn't he get charged with?
I don't know.
He got charged. No, I think he got charged with like
Orlando Brown.
No,
Yeah,
no.
but,
Shia LaBeouf got charged
yeah.
for fucking. I think he was beating on his girl or some shit.
Oh really? Yeah, but
Yeah.
then like you look at Orlando Brown, this dude's in San Bernardino, freaking roaming the streets of
Oh,
crack.
fuck.
Yeah,
Orlando
Yeah.
Brown,
yeah,
bro.
like
Was that really him?
yeah,
No,
that was him.
no way.
Yeah, that was.
Damn.
Yeah,
Off that Sam Riddick ghetto page.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I thought that was a hoax.
no, that was him.
But anyway, back to accepting. I mean, I feel like we covered it pretty well.
I'll say like kind of like going to different opinions thing. It's like especially with your friends. 'Cause I don't feel like we've dived into friends, but like we have a very interesting dynamic. I think you saw that. We just saw that firsthand. We had like our group message on what was it, Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like we all kind of have different ideas or different views, but it was funny like how like we all came together and kind of just like laughing at each other like over like stupid stuff.
Oh yeah, like you know how like it's never, you know how people usually say like don't talk about politics, religion, or sex or some bullshit. Like
Yeah.
you know, it's like I feel like we kind of, even though we all know we have a little bit different political views, we were able to come in and like you said, make jokes and not get all fucking butthurt and shit. Like
we can make fun of each other.
Yeah.
And like not take it up the ass.
yeah, because you know, I love everyone. It just doesn't mean I have to like you.
Well, it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because I was just listening to something last night, and like a whole freaking spectrum of freaking topic, but like basically like it says like what you just said. Like I can love you as a person. Like they're talking about like how people like they have a hard time saying like whether or not it's healthy. So for example, like if like someone asked me, "Oh, do you think I'm healthy?" I can love that person and say, "No, I don't think you're healthy. Like I think like you can do better."
Mm-hmm.
But like how you said, like if I like somebody, like I'm probably gonna tell them what they want to hear because it's that kind of thing. Of, like I like it, so I don't want it to go away. I don't want it to disappear. But love is like it's a what's the word? It's a like good and I don't want to say good and bad because it means something, but it's like there's like the good side of it and then the bad side of it where you have to be tough. Like you have to be like honest.
Yeah.
You have to be honest. Like you can't tell people what they want to hear. Like if the love is there. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what you mean.
So I like how you said that because I feel like it goes into that. Like we can sit here and freaking. We all love each other. We all like our boys. We can sit here and be honest, like crack jokes and shit about it.
Yeah.
And not try to fucking.
But it doesn't mean I have to like your views, or it doesn't mean I have to like just because they don't. Just because they don't fall in line with mine doesn't mean I have like. Yeah, I don't like them, but it's not that I don't love you. It's like.
Like I'll even say this because I had the same experience too. It's just like there's some people and like this is the whole social media thing of like I think certain people like I don't even post political stuff. So that's what's funny about it. And like there'd be some people that will like post like will like unfollow me.
Oh, dude,
will, like,
I had to really hold my tongue on so many things that like I feel like I feel like
I'll say this like I said, I've kind of like distance myself from politics just because it wasn't benefiting me at all. Like sometimes knowing or not knowing is a better route of not knowing because then if you get TMI too much information, then your brain just going all over the place and it's like I have too many other things to focus on.
Yeah.
To be worried about some shit that has nothing to fucking do with
You're talking about going down rabbit holes.
Exactly. Going down rabbit holes.
Yeah, going down rabbit holes because I've caught myself going down plenty of rabbit holes.
Yeah, and then like you get all this information, you're just like, well, how the fuck can this be happening? But then it's just like, well, what the fuck am I really gonna do about it?
A lot of discernment. It's like you just gotta know. You have to really like okay. Take your time and don't just accept it for what it is. Really think about it and question it, even though like it might like be like sounding good for you, good for your side or whatever it is. It's like you really have to question everything nowadays. If you don't critically think and question everything, you will get sucked into such a biased point of view that you're never gonna be able to like look at everyone else and be like, oh, okay, like you know.
And that's where the stress comes in because you're going to have that. Here's the thing is you can have an outward projection of like, yeah, I'm all for this. Like, yeah, like this is right. But then it's about the internal. The internal ballot you're going to have is where you're thinking like, am I right or am I not wrong? What if I'm wrong? Like, what if this is really what's happening?
Yeah.
But I'm supporting this.
Yeah.
You're gonna have that internal, but everyone has those,
Mm-hmm.
and so
And those, internal dialogue
yeah.
is going on all fucking day.
Oh yeah, but we kind of went off. Keep doing that. Keep going off like the topic, but yeah, I was talking about like you gotta like extend yourself, like set yourself up to where you kind of have to distance yourself from some things that like, aren't going to benefit you.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I think I was talking about social media. So like a lot of people like will follow you, unfollow you based on your point of views. And I'm not talking just political. I'm talking about like fitness point of views, on the style of training you do, just brands you support, like companies you support. One of the funniest things that to me was like a couple months ago, Gymshark had some like controversy because their Twitter account like posted something about Blue Lives Matter and like made a joke about it like being like to Avatar. And
Oh.
so like as a lot of people, I'm like I'm a big like well I don't want to say I'm a big supporter, but like I wear Gymshark a lot. I'm a big like I've followed the company for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and so this is where I can say like there's some things that I agree with that they do, and some things I disagree with in the direction that they're going.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where, like I said, the love for the company is there, but I don't just have to like what they're doing
Mm-hmm.
because I have love for what they've built. I have love for some of the people that are in there. Some people that I know personally there that work within the company, and I know their views, and I know what kind of people they are. So I can say I love that aspect of it. I'll support them,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't necessarily mean I have to like everything they do or like where the brand is going or potential is going.
Mm-hmm.
And it's vice versa for people. Like I have people that I don't talk to anymore, people that probably think that I'm some shitty person for whatever reason. To where okay, cool. You know what? That's how you feel about me. How you feel about me, that's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
I know how I feel about you. I'm not going to be disrespectful. I'm not going to sit here and talk shit on you because the narrative's changed where now you don't like me, so I don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, like, okay, I have my respect for you. Obviously, you don't care about a relationship with me, so now it's just like, I'm not going to talk bad about you, but I understand where the relationship is,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to do what's best for me. And
Yeah, you gotta
so,
protect yourself.
exactly, I have to do what's best for me.
You gotta protect your energy and shit like that. So it's like, you know.
So the people come and go. Like that's,
Yeah.
I'll say one of the lessons I learned from working at LA Fitness is people come and go.
That's
So
facts.
yeah, if LA Fitness teaches you anything, like people come and go quickly. So
It's a fucking what do you call one of those like not like a puppy mill, but like just like a fucking like a little mill,
it is.
like a people.
One person's out, next day so someone else is in.
Yeah, I can't think of the word right now.
Yeah, but yeah, so I think something like you're not going to agree with everybody, which is fine. People are going to come and go out of your life, that's a natural part of life. I'm pretty sure like there's people that in your life, people in my life that like where I thought like oh like yeah I'm going to be friends with them forever, and then you grow up, turn 23, 24, and you're like okay like this isn't how the world works. So. I'll just I think you have to be okay with just like sometimes not everyone's gonna agree with you, but don't change yourself because of it. I think that's kind of the big thing I want to tackle on with this subject. Is I think a lot of us feel like we need to change ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and we feel like we have to appease other people. Like we have to change our views, or we have to change what we do, or we have to do what we do. Or like we have to change what we do to get acceptance from other people so that they're happy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like that's the wrong way to go. You need to make sure you're happy. So. I would say work on actually learning to let things go and learning to accept who you are and do some research, do some soul searching. Like I'll say this, like if you have a certain view or you have a certain idea, if you want to reaffirm what you believe in, go do a little more research. I know we said like you don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but I mean you go do some more research. Make sure that what you're saying or what you believe in is actually what you believe in, because a lot of times like I said, and I think you said this actually, like the narrative is like we'll tend to hear what we want to hear that supports our argument and our view, and we'll just feed into all of that, and we don't go and look at the outside of it. Mm-hmm. And so I think if you really, really want to kind of figure out if you're on the right side or not, you gotta do some soul searching.
Yeah, that's fact.
Yeah, I can think about that in the fitness industry in so many aspects. Like I said, I was listening to this podcast last night too. And it kind of they talk about like what kind of training programs that you should do, what kind of training programs that like are that are good, and which ones aren't beneficial. And so it was kind of what I just said. It was reaffirming to how I train people, but then I also, like I said, I had to go do the research and make sure that what I was doing is what I feel like, what I still believe in. And so for me, as personal trainers, I don't like to force people to like their absolute limit to where like they're dying, to where like they can barely walk, especially like just people new to the gym. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's beneficial for their body, and I don't think that's beneficial for their mentality. So like I kind of take my time with the programming. Like I try to build them up. My first thing is always getting conditioning up.
Build
Yeah,
confidence.
build confidence and build conditioning. So like I'm not gonna throw them and have them do something that I don't feel like they can go for the full hour. Like
Yeah.
my goal isn't to kill them as fast as possible and send them home. My goal is to maximize the time that they're there for and to get the most beneficial training out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I kind of listened to this podcast and they kind of reaffirmed some of the things I do within my training, and they talked about like how like a lot of trainers they'll try to get like the quickest results, or they'll try to get the thing that is the most flashy, or they'll try to just kill their clients. So it looks like whenever their clients leave, or like whenever their clients are working out, that they're absolutely dying, and it's like that's not beneficial for them. Like yeah, like they'll probably be like, oh yeah, I gotta go work out. Like, I feel like my body's tired, my body's sore, but then 2 days later, when they gotta come back in again, and they freaking cancel because like they can't freaking walk or they can't
Mm-hmm.
operate, they can't function. It's like, okay, well, what did I really just do? So I think there's so many like I said, different opinions is really crucial in the fitness industry. I said like on your side of things, you probably see so many things now that go against what you believe in.
Oh, my views, I want to say, completely flipped from just like, broing it down in the gym, just getting in, getting out, all that shit to, fucking just going hard as I can all the time and stuff. So it's like my recovery was decent enough for me because I was dedicated enough to get myself recovered, but I wasn't recovering properly at all. Like it was a really huge disconnection from my body because now that I'm actually reconnected and grounded with myself, I I feel things way faster and I notice things way sooner, and as opposed to when I was before, I would be out for weeks because I wouldn't notice anything until it happened. So it's like my views now are completely slow the fuck down. Let's get down to whatever root cause is causing whatever it is and get you back to a healthy, confident, stabilized, human being so you can get back in the gym as much as possible, however long as possible you want to go. Like, I'm not gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah, no, and I agree. Like that's my biggest thing is like as a personal trainer, like we have that natural drive to just want to be in the gym. Like we're like we don't have to be told like, hey, you need to go to work out. Like our natural intuitive is like, hey, let's go work out. Like
Mm-hmm.
our body needs it. And so like as a personal trainer, I feel like people they come for you for that service to kind of help them build up that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where, like I said, I think you can't kill somebody. You can't put them in a direction to where their body's going to be in potential for injury, or they're going to be in potential for setbacks,
Yeah.
because that doesn't. Like I said, I like when I train people, I like leaving them better than when they started with me. So whether they picked up some good habits, or whether they picked up confidence, or whether
Mm-hmm.
they picked up some kind of quality because of training with me, then that's a success to me. I
Yeah.
care less. Like I said, the outside of it is great. Like if they look great, they feel like they can wear like a better size shirt. They look good in that bikini. They look good with the shirt off. Like that's great and all to me, but that's only temporary.
Yeah.
If I can leave them with the good habits, the knowledge, and the confidence to go and do this, then that's where I feel like I've done a good job.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like I see it all the time, like not even just at my gym, but like in trainers in general, like online trainers, online what's it called, programs,
Mm-hmm.
to where like especially supplements, like where like it's like, okay, well let's get the best, like the best and fastest results, and it's great and all. Like I said, if you have a goal, like there's certain things to where like if you need to do that, then that's necessary. Like if you have vacation, you need to look like this in 2 months, and yeah, I understand that. if you have a photo shoot in like a week or two and you need to look a certain way, I understand that. If you're performing and you need to be faster, you need to do something like that, then I understand that. But like when it comes to basic lifestyle things, to where like you're trying to build them up to a better lifestyle, build them up to a better overall person, I think you have to be delicate with that time.
Yeah. Delicacy is, I like that word.
Yeah, so I think we kind of went over a couple of things, good amount of things.
Yeah.
I think the FOMO.
Yeah.
We did not go over FOMO, man. That was the most important thing.
Yeah, FOMO kind of ties it back into that whole like topic we were talking about with trying to be accepted by everyone.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're not feeling accepted, what are you going to do now to, not miss out on that opportunity of being, accepted by them? Because you're so worried about what they're thinking about you, and you're not doing what you truly want to do with yourself for serving your true purpose.
Yeah.
Because I mean, and that usually I feel like happens to younger people and shit like that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Especially when they're around a lot of like, probably about I would say slightly older, like more mature, but not like.
Well, I look at it like it's interesting too, because this age, it really is relative, because I know people that are way grounded, for example, at 21 years old, than they are freaking 30 or 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there's two different ways. Like, I've seen people to where like it just clicks with them. Like, they know what they have to do. Like, they know the purpose. They know how to do and get there.
Mm-hmm.
They can follow through with that plan. And then I'll see like people that are like in like their late 20s, early 30s that are just, they're kind of there, but then they're still not fully committed.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some people that just push out their fucking bullshit they've pushed up for their whole fucking entire life. And also, there's some people that can fucking bullshit their whole entire life and somehow make a decent life. I'll say that.
Oh, I live with someone like that. His name's Randy.
Randy. Just couldn't get the damn job done.
Just couldn't do the fucking job.
But yeah, so right there, like, for example, like, people can just literally, like, you gotta trust your intuition. And, like, that's one big thing I've been to do is, like, I've taken risks and chances on thinking, like, if I go work with certain people, or, like, if I do something with this person, like, yeah, it's gonna give me a good result that I want. And it didn't. It didn't. Like, I said, like, and also, like, all the flashy shit, like, fucking the cars, the nice clothes, the fucking jewelry, the fucking Instagram models, fucking hot chicks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all that shit is legit, like, really, like, does not mean anything.
Yeah,
if you're not serving your purpose. Like,
I can't fucking stand that shit anymore. Bro.
Yeah, like, you can sit in it and you'll look around and be like, dude, like, this isn't that great. Like, this person isn't happy. This person, like, this chick has a fucking husband, but is fucking over here fucking with this guy. It's just like, dude, like, you get in an environment and you're just like, dude, really, what am I doing? Like, is this really worth it?
Yeah.
Is this really what I want out of my life? And then drugs play a role in it, and then it's just, no, it's the sad route of it. And I'm not talking, like, small, like, little drugs. I'm talking about, like, big shit to where you're just like, damn, like, this is how these people fucking live. Like how, like, they're able to fucking operate, or, like, how they're able to, like, cope with what their life is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they don't have that, or if they don't have this, then they're fucking going insane.
Yeah.
So, there's a dark side. There's a really, really dark side to FOMO. Like, everyone just sees all the good shit, but then I think it goes back, you don't know that internal battle. How someone really feels, how someone really is actually dealing with everything that goes on in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And so FOMO is just one of those things to where go back and have confidence in yourself, have confidence in what you're doing, have confidence in who you are as a person. And I think you can become more grounded that way. I think once you, this is actually a learning lesson for me, and I have actually a memory.
Oh, yeah.
So it's actually about you. So.
Oh shit.
Well, no, it's not a bad memory. It's more of just like I was is how you say narcissistic?
But what do you do?
I said something that now is just like it's kind of irrelevant because I've done it myself.
Oh, that's hypocritical.
Hypocritical. Okay. Yeah. So hypocritical. So I'm pretty sure it was me and Jeremy. This is probably like right when like you got like right out of high school. How you went into personal training.
Mm-hmm.
and then you went and said that you were gonna like look to pursue like bodybuilding, like go and everything like that. And me and Jeremy were like, dude, like why are you gonna do that? Like there's no money in that. Like that's not like a real job. Like you're not gonna do anything with that.
Mm-hmm.
And at that stage in my life, it was just like, yeah, like why is he gonna do that? Like he thinks he can do that, make money.
Mm-hmm.
And here I am today, doing the same exact shit.
Yeah.
Making more. I have a degree. I graduated, and I have a degree, and I'm making more money with what I'm doing now than if I was working at like a entry level job for the degree.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just like a lot of time like we project like or we think about things.
Yeah. Also, yeah, because like if you lack confidence in a certain area, a lot of times where you're judging is what you lack in.
Exactly.
It's like,
yeah, and I think that was at a time too, to where I didn't know what the fuck I was in my life. Like I think that was where I was just like I barely got back into school. Like it was just like okay, like what the fuck am I doing?
yeah.
And then Matt's over here saying like he's gonna fucking make me free in bodybuilding and fucking shit. I'm just like
I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah, my coach Doug told me I can get my pro card in a year. What you almost did, honestly.
If I were to put, yeah, because I mean I only did it for like 7 months. Yeah, like
and you were at nationals.
I went to nationals, like I no coach.
Yeah.
Like,
Sadiq actually.
Like I paid for an online program from Sadiq Hadzovic, and I tweaked it. Like it was like a shitty like cookie cutter fucking like I mean it wasn't shitty, but it was pretty shitty. It was like I don't even remember how much it was. It might have been like $100.
Yeah.
And it was just like he would do like a check-in, or his whoever the fuck was doing his emails. Yeah, his assistant was checking in. You just sent a picture, and he'd be like, "All right, cool, you looking good." Like
fucking Randy.
Yeah. So I didn't send any more pictures after the first one because I was like, fuck this. I know I'm gonna just tweak this shit on how I feel, and I did pretty good. I feel like
now you did.
Like I feel like I came in pretty fucking nice. The last week I fucked up because I was doing the
stressed
whole
out.
paralysis by analysis. It was like I was trying to think too much of what I should do for peak week. So it was like I was just kind of scramble-headed the whole time, and I didn't sleep the whole night before. I took a fucking diuretic in the middle of the night, and then I woke up maybe on 2.5, 3 hours of sleep and fucking ate a sweet potato with a little bit of like steak, like a little, and that was it. And then like I got to the fucking the show, and I was like holding water, like my pump was ass, like I had to fucking borrow some pickle juice and like a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
And I started getting a little pumped, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I forgot to shave my fucking legs. I forgot to shave my fucking legs, so I had hairy tan legs. I mean, for what it was a good ass time.
Yeah.
But then I got depressed as fucking, like I hated myself for a little while after.
Yeah. Because
of all the hormonal issues and gut issues and things like that.
And you know what? I'll say this. This kind of go back to like making sure that you're aligned with the right people, because obviously you didn't pay for a coach at that time.
Yeah.
But I look at it as like if you would have had someone there that would have guided you through the process, you probably would have been a lot better off. Like if someone would have been there that night to say like, hey, like don't do this or don't do that, like you probably would have been better off. But like you were on your own.
Yeah.
So.
And I think I enjoyed that a little bit more because like it made me learn so much more about myself.
Yeah.
And I mean, not saying a coach couldn't do that for me, but like it truly was just myself.
Yeah.
Like I had support, but like obviously I'm the only one that's got to do it.
Yeah.
And like, and I look back now, I'm like, God damn it! If I could give myself a program right now.
Oh yeah.
And I've sat down and thought about that. I was like, what would I do? Like, what would I give myself a program for?
I think you would honestly. I think with everything you have now and just your basis for you are right now, like you could. I think you could change perspective on how to go about it in a way.
Because it can still get done. It's just way more healthy.
It's way more healthier. It's a little bit. You have to do a little more work, but that's part of like the whole level of it.
And the cool thing about it is though, it's like just like anything else. The more you do it, the easier it comes. So it's just repetition after repetition, and it's hard at first for people to get down like these impactful habits of being healthier. But like I'm telling you, dude, like I completely did a 180 by myself through a program, and when I got through it of figuring out, okay, wow, like it's really not that hard. It's just you just got to be a little bit dedicated, and it's just all about repetition, man.
Yeah.
When now I do things that are so like second nature that like, bro, like checking in with yourself is so critical, so crucial. You can not get through life expecting to be happy and healthy if you can't check in with yourself.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And that goes back to being grounded and being confident in yourself, secure. You know, like if you're constantly trying to please other people, you're never gonna be confident in yourself.
Mm-hmm. So last topic, I think that we want to go back with, and I think goes hand in hand with that, is how do you deal with that with, let's say, family, relationships, friendships?
Boundaries is you gotta like I'll refer a book that I need to read too, but like I've heard it done in practice. It's called Nonviolent Communication, and it's just being it's a book. Oh, Miss Kitty's Miss Kitty's purring outside. She wants to come say hi. Miss Kitty misses me. It's John's cat. She's like what, 17 years old?
She's up there. I think she's 16.
16 years old? Yeah, I've known her forever. She's she's like, man, what the fuck?
She's calling your ass.
But what was I saying?
Boundaries about
boundaries. Yeah. It's just like learning how to set boundaries and sticking to it, and then if they can't respect the boundaries, figure out how to get yourself out of there, or find a way to just minimize the whole ordeal, I guess you could say. But just don't get caught in trying to please, or get caught in like, what are they gonna think? Because like I feel there's a lot of things that I had to deal with boundaries wise with my parents. Like like my mom isn't religious at all, or she always grew up with like this like weird like spitefulness towards it because the things she's dealt with in her life. And I don't really bring up any religious stuff around her, or like spiritual stuff. I mean, she's more inclined to spiritual stuff because she likes the more woohoo shit. It's kind of funny, but which is what I'm about. It's what I'm about. So it's kind of cool that I'm connecting like that. But I pray over my food. But she would see me praying over my food and think it's religious, like Catholic or Christian or some shit. And she like be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I know she's looking at me like that. And so like me in my head, I'm immediately going to defending myself. I have to tell her what it is. In my head, I'm thinking like I get like this shock of like it's like almost like a shock of like adrenaline. It's like a flushing feeling because it's a trigger. And so like I had to really figure out a way to explain to my mom. In the sense of like, because I don't like negative energy putting onto me if it doesn't have to be too. Like if there's going to be constant negative energy putting geared towards me when I do something. Yeah. Setting a boundary can be setting it in a very subtle way of going, hey, this is what I'm doing, so it's not what you think, so quit thinking that and giving me that negative energy. Yeah. So it's like you're not necessarily proving yourself or anything like that, but you're putting it out there just so you can protect yourself a little bit better. Yeah. Because I don't like someone looking at me scoffing. Well, yeah. But at the same time, like, I really don't give a fuck.
And it's funny you say that because...
But it's my mom.
No, I know, and that's your mom. Yeah. But, like, I feel like as, like, a society, we'd be so much better if we just communicated. Because right there what you said is, like, if you literally just told, like, this is what I'm doing, like, it's not what you think. Like, how many times have me and you made assumptions or, like, said something? Oh, yeah. But then we communicated.
Major projections and assumptions.
And then it's like, oh, that's not what it was at all. Yeah. And so I'm just like...
But people are scared of the response. That's why people lie. Yeah. Because they're scared of the reaction. Exactly. So it's like, oh, they got to lie to make themselves look maybe a little better, or maybe dumb down the situation. Randy. Dog, Randy. I was the master. I was a master. See, another thing with the whole complete 180 on not just health, but it was my mindset. Yeah. Because before, when I was unhealthy and ungrounded, I was a liar, a manipulator, I was deceitful, but like I'm a very loving fucking person. I'm very empathetic, but like for the littlest, dumbest shit that I would be very scared of the response and reaction from, I would lie about it to dumb it down, or maybe lie about something to get myself out of something because I thought that it wasn't that big of a deal, but it was, because it's not respecting other people's boundaries. Yeah. And that goes back to, if you want your boundaries respected, you got to learn how to respect others. Because if you don't know how to respect others, then how do you expect to know what to expect when people are... It's like, you have to be... like in order to be a man, you have to be a man of your word and do actually what you're gonna say. Like if you're not doing what you're saying, you're just being a fucking you're being a lying bitch. Like you're not being a man.
Yeah.
Like if you gotta lie your way through something, you're not being a man about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're being scared. So why are you scared? What's the reasoning? Because
the reaction, the response, the kind of portrayal that you're not who you say you are.
Yeah, so it's like when you become genuinely confident and grounded in yourself, you can clearly state what you're doing and be confident in the fact that you know what you're doing for yourself, and that if you could set a healthy boundary, then people will respect you a lot more, and people will understand you. They'll understand you so much more, and they'll be like, wow. And that might even, because the best teacher is the silent teacher. If you can teach people through doing, rather than telling, that's because you're actually fucking doing it and you're setting an example. You could speak all you want. You'd be fucking like you could be the best sounding person in the fucking coffee shop. But if you're not actually doing those things, what the fuck? You're not going to really teach people.
Yeah.
So if you just teach people through doing, then you can probably teach someone how to set a boundary by setting a boundary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Wow, that felt good. Wow, we got through that. That felt so much better. How do we do that? How do we keep doing that?
Yeah, it's very interesting you say that, because I can think of a couple of times where, like, I never necessarily haven't listened, but I have learned from watching.
Yeah.
So interesting.
It's like it's the father role and the mother role, like how your father treats your mother.
Oh, that's a whole different.
It's like one of those. It's like, you know, my dad would come home with flowers all the time, so I, as a child, would go pick flowers for my mom in the backyard. Yeah. It's what you see. You know, so it's like it goes back to that too. Like that could be so. That's another rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But
that really is a rabbit hole.
But as you grow up, you become your own person.
Yeah.
That's the fucking beauty. Dude, I'm so excited I became my own person.
Oh, 100%.
So fucking excited.
I don't think, like I said, I struggled as much as you, but I could see myself as a person, like, I don't want to say drifting away, because I still love my family, but like, I can see where I'm on a different, I want to say wavelength, to where it's like, I don't feel bad about some of the things I do now, or I don't feel bad about, I don't want to say being the smartest person, because I'm not the smartest person in the room, but like having information.
You're breaking cycles.
Yeah, like having information and being able to like confidently do that, like not feel like I can't say it or like I don't want to overstep. So now it's just like, okay, now that I know this shit, why am I not using it? And that's not just in my family, but that's everywhere. So like, I said this thing where it's like, I've always been told like, okay, like you have so much potential, like you can do a lot of good things. And for me, I was like, okay, like cool, like that's good to know. But one of the things that always held me back was like, I don't want to overstep. Like I know my place. I don't want to overstep on anyone else. To where now it's like, okay, and like I need to get out of that mindset, because if I'm always worried about or thinking about like if I'm overstepping on somebody, then I'm not gonna do what like I feel like I need to fulfill myself to do. And so I think, like I said, not just my family, but friends, relationships, in general, like work, being more open, being more vocal about things, I think is really important, because like I said, if we don't communicate, if we don't say what we mean or what we actually see going on, then it just leaves up in interpretation. And when you leave anything up to interpretation, it's a very dangerous game.
Oh, yeah.
The human mind goes everywhere.
Yeah, I thought, like, the human mind does go everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, man, I don't know why I just thought of this funny example. I'm not even going to talk about it.
Well, I have an example, and it's just, like, it's very basic. Like, for example, like, I could say, like, the human mind can be, it's as simple as, like, hey, if I texted you last night and said, hey, are we still open, like, are we still going to do the podcast today? But then I don't get a response from you. My mind can go into a million different places. Well, why did he text me back? Did he still want to do it? Or did something happen?
He doesn't care as much.
He doesn't care as much, yeah. Like, it can go all over the place.
Meanwhile, I'm just taking a shit.
You're fucking knocked out, passed out, asleep. Yeah. I texted you at fucking 10:30 at night, or like I called you like at 10:30 at night. Yeah. So it's just like, that's where it's easy. And like for me, like I know, like at the end of the day, like I'm not worried about it. Like if we do it, we do it. But a lot of people, they can't separate that. It's just like, oh, like he didn't pick up my phone call. He must be mad at me, or she must be mad at me. And it's just like, no, like when you leave it open to interpretation, like your mind's gonna go everywhere. So just communicate. Communicate with yourself. I'll say that. Yeah. Communicate with yourself.
Like back to like checking in. Like, you know, if if you're feeling a certain way, kind of stop. Don't run away from the feeling. Lean into it. Like if you see something and it triggers you, makes you feel a certain way, be like, okay, why does it make me feel that way? Or is it a consistent pattern that I feel this way when something like this happens? And then once you start being able to ask yourself those questions and truly understand yourself and like why you do certain things, then you can be like, it's very liberating on the sense of, okay, I'm just a human being. It's like I'm literally like, if you look around, we're literally just we're at like 7 billion people now or some shit.
I'm sure like that.
Like
China's got like 3 billion.
Like the way you perceive reality is very crucial on like, you're not under a microscope or anything.
No, we're not.
You're not under a microscope.
I think we try to make ourselves like we want that to be the center of the attention. We want to be under a microscope.
Yeah,
but
like
we're not.
Like unless you're fucking Justin Bieber, even then, like I don't follow the motherfucker. Like
no, I've separated myself. Like I said, like I don't look at celebrities, athletes. I don't look at them as like this holy like embodiment of.
Oh yeah, they're put on a pedestal.
Yeah, they're not. They're freaking normal people.
Yeah,
they have the same flaws. They have the same freaking traumas, same freaking experiences I have. They just make more money.
I guarantee
they just make more
I could
money.
be in a room with an NFL player and school that motherfucker on some shit, and then he would be on the field and school me.
Yeah.
We have our roles. We have our roles in life, and whatever you're good at, you fucking be good at it. It's like, and then be fucking confident in it, because like not everyone's gonna like you or love you. No, like
they're not supposed to.
Not supposed to. Who's gonna like you and love you will be there.
Yep.
If you want to bring it. But if you want to bring people around that are constantly judging and insecure with themselves, like, you're
going to be for a tough time.
Yeah,
tough time.
A lot of issues. Or like even like people that are just like, are not serving you. They're no longer serving you in your life, but you're still hanging around them, doing the same old things, or like they'll keep you in certain patterns and you got to break those patterns, and then like you get scared of how your friends are going to...
I like this. I like what you're going into. Because that's the big thing I had to do is... I don't want to say... Well, me and you always have...
We're pretty good about that.
We're pretty good about it, but like, we're kind of like... We can be the catalyst for that behavior too, because like there'll be a time where it's like, hey, you want to go get a drink, or like you want to go... We've done this.
Oh yeah. We're very good about keeping ourselves fucking going, and like we could be distant from each other, but like sometimes when we get back with each other, we're very like we feed off each other very well.
Which is natural. Like that's a natural part. Like we don't try to run from it and like be like, oh, like no, I'm not gonna hang out with Matt because I know it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It kind of just like
we know what's coming.
Yeah, we know it's coming, but like we can handle it better now. Like for example, on your birthday, I thought we handled that pretty well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like.
But yeah, there's some people to where it's just like you got to get out of that cycle, because for 3 years, it's kind of that cycle that where I was like, okay, I'm working on taking care of myself. But then shit, like I want to go to Vegas and go fucking party, or I want to go out to downtown Redlands for fucking 2 days in a row and fucking party. I want to go out to fucking Huntington.
Talk
and
about
party.
FOMO is fucking fear of missing out on that goddamn ass grinding on you.
Exactly.
Fear of missing out of getting that drink fucking down your throat. And
or in Matt's case, going out to the boiler room and getting into a fight.
Getting fucking rocked.
Who is he gonna fucking piss off tonight?
Yeah. And I'm not necessarily... It's usually when I just drink Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm a really good time.
Yeah.
It's just I started getting too much. Like, it was like that pattern for sure. Like, and once you don't... And when you don't break patterns, usually that pattern will take you somewhere to where it'll slap you in the face of going, hey, like, this isn't really that good for you. And
you gotta hit that fucking bikini bottom, rock bottom. Get stuck in rock bottom.
And people take longer than others.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And usually, a lot of times, if you want to talk about codependency and like how you're trying to fix someone because they're stressing you out.
Yeah. You can't
do that. You're getting in the way of their process. Is only going to prolong it.
Yeah.
Because like I've lived with addicts. Addicts are the best, probably one of the best like lessons of learning codependent like traits, because like they're being addicted to this substance that is like destroying them.
Yeah.
And you're so stressed out because you love them so much, you don't want it to happen, that you get in the way when you should have just let it happen and understood that that's their process. That's what they have to go through, and you just have to learn how to live amongst it and protect yourself. because it would take me fucking places that I look back on and had to forgive myself time and time again, where like I became a really bad person in my thought process of how to deal with it. But like I said, it's one of the best lessons of learning, like, letting people go through their shit.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to, because then or otherwise you're prolonging their process.
You're prolonging the process, but I also, and we've talked about this multiple times, but like sometimes you have to let someone do something on their own, or you have to do something on your own to figure out who you are. Mm-hmm. Because you can have someone walk you and guide you through it, but if you don't get that experience on your own, you're on that crutch. You're on the codependency of like, okay, like this person's going to help me always get there. And what if they're not there? What if they decide that, okay, I'm tired of your shit, you're done? Then what happens? So I think like you have to look at just making sure that you're checking on yourself.
Yeah.
And making sure I'm not giving too much of myself, or vice versa. Like I'm not relying too much on this person and being dependent on their actions. Because at the end of the day, as much as like you're my boy, I love my parents, but like I can't be there for you every freaking second, or I can't be there to correct you and tell you, oh, this is what you're doing wrong. And vice versa, you can't do that for me. My parents can't do that for me. Like I have to figure out my things, just like how you have to figure out your things, and everyone has to figure out their things. So it's just one of those things to where I think you have to check in with yourself and say like, how do I move forward if I'm helping somebody, or how do I move forward if I'm trying to help myself? So that is it for this episode of the Ascended Cast. Came at you with a lot of information. Came at you with a lot of different takes. How are you feeling about it?
Feel pretty good.
Looking forward to having more content, more conversations, sharing some stuff. So I think that's it for today.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. I'm John Sanchez.
This is Matt.
Matt.
With one T.
With one T?
Yeah.
You're just Matt? Yeah. All right, guys, that is it. We will see you guys next time.